So I got an amazing question. Again, I'm going to post it here for you guys to read as well, just about what cringy behavior is. Now, it's I think a simple but can be kind of nuanced question because I think cringy behavior is across the board in most Western countries pretty much standard. You know, staring, approaching women you don't know, uh, being looking like a weirdo. I think that's gonna be the most. Do you look like a weirdo is gonna be the most important thing, right? But beyond that, just like let's say you're an average guy, you don't look like a serial killer, and you have some kind of social sense, and you are comfortable talking to women, then we go into the nuances of Japanese society, and I can kind of give some tips. So I think the most important thing to really start to pick up on if you've been in Japan more than a few months is reading the atmosphere of Japanese people. That's going to be your number one skill, your number one weapon, and something that is going to put you at a really big disadvantage if you've only been here for a short time. Now, for me, how I learned to really read the atmosphere of Japanese people was one simple test and one simple rule. Whenever I saw something that happened, I never looked at that point. I didn't look at what the action was. I looked at what was going on around the action. So let's say I was on the train and I saw someone doing something rude, or someone who's like a weirdo, and I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. I would look at the Japanese people sitting next to the person, across from that person, and pick up on the certain nuances of their breathing, their mannerisms, how they look away, rolling their eyes, or the tilt of the head, or thing like that. Those things really help you pick up on the subtle nuances in body language in Japan. That takes a little bit of time. You might not have that much time. So generally speaking, I would say first, I was talking about this earlier today, the three types of laughs, right? We have interested laugh, we have nervous laugh, and we have scared laugh, right? And if you can kind of understand those three different types of laugh, of course, there are different gradients in each one and different levels in each one. I can't really duplicate it, but if you kind of approach with like a National Geographic photographer approach, and slowly, not like he, again, not like a weirdo, but approach women with a way that is without hungry eyes, if you will. I think the eyes are really, really important here. We don't really realize how much eyes are the window to the soul, but how much Japanese people really read on what's going on behind your eyes. So if I would say lower your intentions, control the force inside of you. If you see like, oh, she's hot and I want her, like your eyes are like bulging out of your head, she can tell as soon as you say hi, you look crazy, right? You look intimidating. But if you actually think of her as your cousin that you haven't seen in a long time at a family reunion, that will help you make your atmosphere less, overbearing. Because what you can't understand is your aura, right? And you can't control your aura because we really don't have to for the most part, unless like you're kind of grew up in like inner city environments and stuff like that, where your aura really is important. But for me, in my past growing up in DC, aura was more of an aura of like a shield, blocking your emotions and not showing your emotions, not showing like smiling or showing anything like that. It's being like a blank canvas where people can't read you and you can kind of defend yourself against any potential danger, right? This is the complete opposite of that. This is being completely open and not having any hidden intention. If she can sense some type of hidden intention to your approach, she's going to kind of pull back a little bit. And it kind of becomes clear. Like, there's a really interesting video, which I'm going to cut to right now and show a guy who seems friendly, but is kind of a weirdo.
I'm gonna start sending invites. お、金髪の日本人見つけました。綺麗似合います。ちなみになんで金髪の日本人は自然と見つけられないのはなぜですか？知ってますか？みんな黒だからブリーチしない色抜かないといけないから。それ金かかる。でもそれなぜ生まれつきのブロンド髪の毛がないですか？なぜ？日本人はないブロンド。遺伝的。理由は説明ある。色素が違うらしい。詳しいね。詳しいよ。Alright, so Hey brother, I'm sorry. Can I ask you a question? Yeah. Where can I find a Japanese myself? Me and my viewers want to know where, in which kind of setting can we find a Japanese like you did,
Like a Japanese, like a what?
like a Japanese girl. Where?
This is a friend.
Yeah, yeah, that's all good. I want Japanese friends. So where should I? I've been on the streets possible, but like, where did you meet her? Claude?
not Japanese, I'm actually Chinese.
Oh really? You should have 뭐? 못 가르쳐 이제. You really? No, you're Japanese.
No,
Really?
my parents are like second, like
Uh,
so
oh, okay. So, but
I'm
you
not
speak.
half, yeah, I can't speak any.
Oh, okay, but you speak Japanese though, right?
I speak Japanese, but yeah.
Now you can kind of tell from that video. I mean, he seems a little. He's a social, quite a bit socially awkward. But most important, if you listen to the way he's talking and things like that in these clips, his intention is, I gotta get a Japanese girl. Where can I get a Japanese girl? So he seems friendly and he's speaking Japanese and stuff like that. But his intentions is, I want to put my thing in something. I'm in Tokyo. Where's the things I can put my stuff in? That makes you a weirdo. Another thing is understanding like your Japanese level, right? Like in the video, I don't want to use this guy as a scapegoat, but he is kind of weird. But he doesn't realize that he lacks the nuance of Japanese ability, even though he's studied in his book. He doesn't really understand that, like, quite a few of the things that he's saying are not appropriate. Like, there's one clip I'll cut to now.
薬飲んでください。あ、すいません。いい意味で言っちゃった。健康に気をつけてくださいっていう意味でした。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
But he thinks he's being clever to her, but actually he's kind of, the nuance of what he's saying is, quit spreading your damn germs all over the place. So it's quite weird for someone to yell that kind of stuff. So just, you need to understand that you're a newborn baby as far as culturally, even if you took baby steps language wise. And Japan is, being Japanese is what I say, is not a national kind of thing. It's a cultural concept. So if, like, I'm not Japanese, I've just grew up around Japanese. I've not grew up, but I've spent my whole adult life surrounded by Japanese culture, so I can kind of pick up on several of the nuances of it. That's all. But I'm not mistaken thinking that I know what it is to be Japanese, because I don't. I get like a get out of jail free card. I have an exception card. I'm like the wildlife, uh, I don't know. I'm like the wildlife photographer that's been, is able to roam with the lion pack, without getting attacked. Like that's kind of my status here. But I know it doesn't make me Japanese, and I don't take those type of liberties, because I know like the lion pack can just turn on me at any point if I get too comfortable, right? So I kind of proceed with caution in a way, and I would say not caution as far as like, someone's gonna like hit you over the head with something or start screaming and get you locked up. But if your goal is making a connection with someone, you have to understand that your approach is just, by the nature of who you are, not going to match the expectations of what this girl wants, unless you're dealing with some completely superficial type situation. One of your groupies, for example, who likes you for a reason, because you're black, because you have green eyes, because you look like Harry Potter, or whoever her favorite pop star is, or something stupid like that, right? It might be that simple. And if that's what you're into, I'm not knocking you at all. I'm not knocking her at all. Those relationships, those situations do happen. But you just have to understand who you are, who she is, and what you're getting into. Also, where you're approaching. Like for me, especially now, just hearing and seeing what's going on in Tokyo as far as like picking up girls type situation, I would not try to pick up girls at all. Again, when I came to Japan, I didn't know any better. I was used to picking up girls in my home country, like hollering at girls at the mall as a teenager. So that's what I started doing in the beginning. And now, if I went back in time, I wouldn't do that. Right? I just wouldn't do it, because it's not really the best thing to do. It's not really a classy thing to do. And generally speaking, Japanese women think if you're trying to just randomly pick them up on the street, nampa them, they think you're doing it because you think they're easy, if that makes any sense, right? It's not because, wow, she's pretty. It's like, oh, I think I can like smash her. She seems like dude, a dodo head. so so let me try and give it a shot, and maybe I can get lucky and get in bed with her. That's the general perception. So I'm a fan of, like, premeditated serendipity. This is becoming my thing, apparently, my phrase. But you know just be, if you're in a situation and the opportunity presents itself where you have some random interaction with someone who's your type and they seem friendly and cordial to you, see where it leads, but proceed with caution. And don't push or force the issue or something like that. Like, hey, I mean, if she can speak English or something like that, then it kind of acts as a bit of social lubricant. But if your Japanese is crap and her English is non-existent and you're pushing the envelope, just let it go. Just take it as like part of the learning curve, of you getting used to dealing with Japanese women. And sometimes, like, that's what it takes. Like, just you getting a smile, getting a kind of interaction, and letting her go off into nature. Roam free without you trying to cling to her and cage her like a bird. Or, okay, there's way too many nature analogies going on here. But the point is, like, um, be flow with the energy of Japan. Japan is kind of like the ocean. I say, like, you have to, like, let the tide carry you. If you fight against the tide, like, you'll end up drowning in it, right? But if you let the tide take you where it takes you, whether it's where you want to go or not, like, or whether you're intending on going or not, you'll end up in a nice place. You might not be where you want to go, but you'll end up somewhere nice. It might not be, on the island with, it might it might not be on, like, drop the draws island, but you will be happy if you're satisfied with everything this country gives you. That's like whether you're going out with women, whether you're having fun by yourself, whether it's just a simple interaction with a beautiful girl, whether it's an older lady giving you a smile, whether it's a friendly older guy. All those interactions, there's a commonality between all of those people. So if you can be friendly, understand the atmosphere, understand the situation, when to interact, how to gracefully bow out, if you're around, like, older people, little kids, younger people, groups, things like that, that will help you when you're in a situation where you meet a girl or a woman who is your type in a serendipitous situation, where it could become of something more. Let me know with some comments what you think. I'll holler at y'all next time. Here's another video. Peace.